Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode of Not a Podcast today, as you can see by the screen, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're over here in the Google Sheets. We're going to be doing a CDL draft. So basically, like a fantasy draft, teams are all wiped, and me and Kyle are going to be alternating and building some teams. We'll explain a little bit more after we find out how Kyle's doing today.
Oh man, I am nervous to be drafting these teams. If I make a mistake, don't flame me too hard. But yeah, excited to do it.
Yeah. This is just something we want to do because obviously we're getting into that time of the off season where there's not matches to watch every week and not news all the time. Especially this is being recorded just less than a week after champs, so there's not a ton officially out to kind of talk about. So this is going to be just draft only, no other podcasts and news and stuff. And the way we're going to do this is we're only accounting for like chemistry in game and Call of Duty like skill and just like everything around the game only. We're not going to account for brands and popularity and stuff because obviously that move guys like Scump formal to like top picks because they have huge brands. So Kyle, if you're good with that, I think we can just get right into it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So looks like I have the first overall pick. No real surprise to anyone. I'm gonna go ahead and take Simp as my first
Simp
SMG.
going one. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, yeah, I feel like we'll probably get more into discussing reasons why we take players as we start to build the teams and like you match players with each other. But like the first, especially a few picks are going to be pretty obvious. I feel like. So you go Simp. I think you can pretty much delete who you know. I'm going to go with Abezy for this team. And the only other thing is like when we're building teams, we're just going along. Like we're not going to try to like unless you're really saving someone, we're not going to try to save people for our teams. We're just going like team by team and just building it out. And on the bottom here, we got ARs, flexes, and SMGs listed. So I'm going to Abezy with my second pick.
All right. So for my second team, I'm gonna go ahead and take Shotzi.
All right, another not as surprised. I feel like the first round's um almost a little more boring than the rest of the draft will be because these are kind of like the guys you just know. Like they're all going to go maybe not in the exact order, but you know who's like the top few. But I feel like this is where things kind of get interesting. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
those are the top three easily. Now it's like who's the first person to take a main AR, who's the first person to take a flex. And if you know my love for this guy, I think you know who I'm going. I'm going Cammy actually. I'm going to take the first flex off the board. I think Cammy is just too much of a playmaker to let him slip by because I think you probably would have snatched him up pretty quick.
yeah, I mean he's definitely up there in terms of like power ranking flexes.
He's right up
Yeah,
there with
so
Cellium, probably number 1, too.
yeah, I mean this is kind of difficult because you have to like you kind of have to like divorce yourself from like the player you just picked and then like think
Yeah.
of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm picking number one for another team.
Yep.
So you got Cellium, or sorry, you got Cammy. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh man, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Standy.
Dandy. A little earlier than I thought he might go. I thought you were going to be the one to take him because you're a big Standy guy.
I
I know
I don't
he's
know.
one of
I'm
your
just
favorite
thinking
players.
like he's gonna be around for a while. He's a young, cracked SMG.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. It's a
we'll
great
look
pick.
we'll, we'll look to get him some help on the rebound.
I feel like we're also kind of somewhat in the same boat. Like, I think we both kind of believe subs are like the most impactful. So we're kind of trying to get the best ones. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of equate it to being like a position player in a fantasy football draft
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
Like, your wide receivers and running backs are going to be a lot more impactful
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, so who you got next?
Oh man, I'm trying to decide if I want to be the first person, kind of like the first person to take a quarterback in a fantasy football draft. Do I want to be the first person to take a main AR, or do I want to keep going? Because I've only taken the one sub, obviously, but I think I might dip back into the flex pool because I think the versatility is something really nice to have on your team. I think I'm gonna go with Cellium here
All right, that's very fair.
because I don't know.
Very, very
I
fair.
feel like starting a team with a guy you know can do it all allows you to have a little more flexibility when you're picking players later.
Yeah, that definitely. Oh man, this is tough, but we'll keep it moving. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Dashy.
All right. All right, we'll put Dashy in there. A little run of flexes here kind of going. Also, the other thing, if you guys are looking down at the players we have below, there might be players we didn't include. I know there's a lot of challengers players that deserve spots, but it's so tough because obviously we, both Kyle and I know the pro players so much more. Like the top AMs that have been pros, we know. So if there's certain AMs that 100% should be in the league, guys you hear like Pred and we don't take them, it's not that we don't think those guys deserve to be in the league. To be honest, neither of us have like this expansive knowledge of like those players' skill sets and who they're like friends with, and that matters with chemistry and stuff. So that's the reason why if you see some top challengers player maybe not make it, just to be honest with you, we don't have the widest knowledge of like every in and out of challengers. So that's the reason for that if you're wondering. But I'm kind of looking through here for my pick at the subs. I don't know if I see anybody I really want to take right away. I might be the first person to dip into ARs here. I think I'm going to start building a team with an AR here. I think I'm going to go for one of your favorite players, Octane.
Oh, nice. I was wondering who's gonna be the first AR off the board.
I mean, for me, it was between Octane, Insight, and Arcitys was the three I was looking at.
That's very fair. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna take Hydra.
Okay, to be honest with you, I told you before we started recording this was going to happen. I kind of forgot Hydra existed for a second, and I might have taken it with my last pick, but that's part of a draft you stole him from under me. That is a really good pick. He probably should have gone earlier than this, in my opinion. Oh man, I should probably start taking some subs. I really haven't, but I mean, each team is independent, so it doesn't matter that much. But oh man, I really don't know who I want to go with. I'm looking through the subs to see who I want to make. I think I might go with a bit of a weird pick here, and go with. He's so up and down. Do I want to take him? I don't know. I think I might go with Envoy here.
Whoa.
I know he had a down
Envoy.
champs, and people are kind of the stock on Envoy for a lot of people's minds is down, but I think he's a really, really good playmaker at the sub, and I think his current team doesn't fit him well, but I think if he's on the right team, his playmaking ability like really, really goes well with players. So I'm gonna go with him here. I really wish Hydra was available though, because I really want him as a sub, but you took him. I
Nice.
forgot about him.
All right, so this is a snake, right? So I get 2 picks in a row.
Yeah. So that's kind of sucky.
Okay.
I didn't even realize. I wasn't even thinking you'll get the 2 ends.
Right. Okay. So
Oh wait, did I screw this up? Shouldn't I have the last pick here? Is this only 6, 9? Yeah, this is 11. Well, there you go. Live on the recording here, we screwed this up. I only made 11 spots. So technically,
yeah.
no, you don't have the snake. You have the
All
snake at
right.
the 1 spot.
All right. That's fair.
We'll add a color in here. We'll put it as a light blue.
Fair. Okay.
All right.
So my next pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take Kleenex.
Kleenex. That was who I was debating with Envoy actually there when I couldn't make my
Yeah.
decision. That's who I was debating. That's a really good pick. I was just saying the up and down. Him and Envoy are both up and down players, so I was trying to decide which one
All right.
I
So now
wanted to
you
go
get the
with.
snake here.
Yeah. Trying to decide if I want to take multiple positions or if I want to go for like a double up on subs. I think I'm actually gonna dip into the flex and SMG pool here. I think I'm gonna take, since I want to make him a first round pick since he's my favorite player, I'm taking Kenny first. I'm gonna make him the flex in this team, and to pair with him, I'm gonna go for more of a slaying sub. Not as much of an entry guy, more of a slaying guy. Maybe look for my entry later. I'm gonna take Scump with him. Scump and Kenny, I think. If we were doing content, that's a gold mine. But
Oh man.
I'm gonna go Scump and Kenny here. Yeah, I think that provides me with a really flexible flex, and then a sub that can kill everything to go with them.
All right. So we've kind of got like an EU thing going on with Kleenex
I
here
knew you were
now.
gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, given how well they've played together, I'm gonna have to give them Bance.
Okay.
as his SMG duo. I mean,
That's yeah.
very good IGL, as we've seen. I mean, recency bias galore.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I mean, you can't really argue against their success that we saw this year. Oh man, Envoy. I'm trying to think of players. I looked over at Gunless, but those two like can't get along at all, so I definitely can't be taking him. I know these two really get along very well, and that's why I'm going to go with this guy. I think I'm going to take Arcitys here. They were a duo coming into Modern Warfare, uh, and I mean, obviously, I believe Arcitys is arguably the best they are in the game, and I think these two really still get along. So chemistry plays together well, and we've got a good sub and a good IGL and main AR.
All right, who to pair with Hydra? I mean, part of me really wants to build a French connection team, like a French EU team.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think he's proven that he can. I mean, yes, there may still be like a language like barrier, for lack of a better
yeah.
term. Um, but I really want to put some good pieces around him. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and give him Illy.
Hmm. That's not who I thought you were gonna go with, but I don't mind it.
I feel like versatile. I don't know, just uh, might not be the first person you'd take, but I kind of have some ideas here for later on.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because like you kind of have. Oh, I forgot to put Ilian for you here. You kind of have like your players in mind, but then you look and like I've taken 2 main ARs in these teams. So I'm like, okay, I got to take myself out of the main AR brain for this team because I have Octane. Looking around at these teams, and I feel like what Octane's been missing the last couple years is that just like absolute like slaying sub. So I'm kind of trying to look through the subs to figure out who I think could really do that for him. And I know he's controversial right now, but I think I want to go Hook here. Um, Octane and Hook have never played together, but I know Hook has the potential to be the best player on the map at any time. I think that's something that Octane thrives with in front of him is a sub that can kill everything, kind of like John did in the past for him, and like guys like Priesta did for him on 100T. So I'm gonna go Hook.
All right, so this this for me is who can pair well with Dashy. This is like kind of like oil and water here.
Are you thinking
Ah,
Dashy as your flex or your main, or you're kind of not decided seeing how the draft goes?
I'm I don't know. I'm looking. There's still a lot of great AR talent, but it's like who can Dashy like pair up with? Um,
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna go ahead and take a flyer and put Major Maniac as my
Okay.
AR for Dashy.
Okay. That's not bad because that's like two players that are like kind of mains but kind of flexes. They both use the Maddox in Black Ops 4. That's interesting. I don't mind that. I think that's not a bad pick. And also they both seem to be kind of vibey guys. Like I feel like there's not gonna be much issues there. Right. But I've got Cellium. There was a player I wanted, but I don't know if he pairs well with Cellium. To me, when I look at a guy like Cellium, it's pure talent. I don't think he brings a lot in the comms department. So I think he might need somebody that does. But I'm not sure who that is. I kind of want to pair him with a really good sub. Um, I think the way I want to go here is, oh man, trying to like look through the list to make sure I'm not missing like somebody that's such an obvious pick. Um, I think I want to pair him with a more vocal leader that can bring some vibes, and I think I'm gonna go attach. I
Oh,
think
you stole attach from his
attach and
brother.
standy duo.
Oh man.
I think
Okay,
that
that's
Cellium and attached though. I feel like he brings what Cellium lacks in comms, if that makes sense. And obviously, yeah, attach is also really good. And this team is going to be nasty at search. Looking at Cellium and attached together.
yeah, very fair. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. So Standy, do I want to give him his sub duo yet? Um, or get that on the rebound? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling I let's take Clayster.
That's a great
I
pick.
feel like Standy's very developed. He doesn't need a lot of coaching. He almost plays like a vet.
Yeah.
And I think we're
Mhm.
seeing Clay doesn't want to necessarily like do the whole like I have to coach the team and play main AR. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go Clayster.
If you let Clayster through, I was taking him probably in that Abezy team. Um, to me, I feel like you know where I'm going with this pick. I've taken a lot of ARs already, so I'm about to have all my mains off the board. But Insight and Cammy play way too well together. And in my opinion, there's potential that Insight is the best main AR in the league. Like he's up there in the discussion for it, and I think he's the only guy of the guys we had left in the list that's in the discussion. Besides maybe a guy like Skies or Slasher on the right year, but I mean, Insight and Cammy have proven they have that great connection. So I'm gonna pair Insight with Cammy.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. We're close enough to the snake where I'd feel comfortable not filling out this team with Shotzzy necessarily, or like I don't feel pressured to take an AR.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because like the top like four really ARs are probably off the
yeah,
board.
yeah, and we've got Shotzzy. Like I feel like he's a very versatile SMG. He doesn't necessarily have to be the one that like flies in super aggro.
No, he can
He
do
can
either.
he can dial it back.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna give him Neptune. We're gonna have the movement team.
That I like that because I'm a guy that's all for movement and map awareness, and I don't know. Neptune's a little young in terms of like map awareness and stuff, but man, he's got some nasty movement. All right, I was actually thinking of taking Neptune to pair with Abezy, but kind of looking around here, and I think a potential player that could go well with Abezy is Mister Big Wake. I'm not even gonna
Ooh.
write Awakening, and I'm gonna write Big Wake. I know he kind of tailed off towards the end of last year, but when I see Big Wake, I mean, I don't think anybody can deny he has top flex potential. And I also think at times, especially for that first half of the year, he was arguably the best search player in the game. And you can make the argument for Abezy. So I think once again, kind of like my Cellium attached team, I think we're developing an elite search and destroy team with Big Wake and Abezy, Mr. First Blood, and Mr. just dropping bombs in search. I think this is a great search team, which matters a lot to me.
Yeah, wow. Who to pair with the number one overall pick? Who's gonna go with Simp? Um, I mean, it feels so weird having him on a team without a BZ.
Yeah,
I
it's like
almost don't know
you're
what to
lost.
do. Uh, oh man. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna give him Draza.
I was actually about to take Draza with the Beezy, so we're kind of on the same
Yeah,
page.
I just feel like I mean he's really come into his own. I don't know. I feel like we'll make it work with the flex and AR on the rebound coming
I feel like
back.
Draza could also technically play flex too. I mean, he did this year. I also feel like Draza is willing to take that entry role because Simp isn't much of an entry. I mean, they can obviously he can, but
Yeah. So it's the snake to me now. So I get one
yeah,
more. Simp Draza. So that's my SMGs. I feel like we almost need an IGL now,
yeah, yeah.
and I don't see a better IGL up there than the Slasher World League.
Like
Um,
man, you're going for a raw skill team.
yeah, so we're gonna take Slasher. He's gonna make I don't know. I just got a feeling.
I mean, that roster is making waves. I promise you. I mean, any roster with Simp is probably making waves, but I mean, Slasher's about probably as talented as it's going to get for a third
Yeah,
rounder.
and I mean we saw Slasher Draza kind of team together this year for a little while, so
Yeah.
they already got that chemistry, and then obviously you take the greatest player in the game right now, Simp, and
Yep.
I don't know, we'll find a fourth later on.
Yeah. All right, back to me with my Abezy and Big Wake raw skill search and destroy team. So I was thinking, and I'm honestly thinking any AR can stand behind a BZ, Big Wake, and another good sub. So I think I might be able to wait. Because now at this point, I think like there's like 6, 7 ARs that are relatively even. and I'm looking at the subs, and I obviously Abezy's kind of like my entry guy, so I'm kind of looking at more of like a slaying sub. Um, and obviously, I'm a big John fan, and that's the role he plays best. But he struggled so bad at the end of the year that I'm wondering how much he has left in the tank. But John is literally the best when he has a guy in front of him. There's guys like Asim and Tej who are kind of more entry guys, and the one guy that's sticking out to me is Vivid. Um, I think I'm gonna take Vivid here because to me, Abezy and Shotzzy are pretty similar players in a lot of ways. I think they both go in first very well. Um, and they're both obviously just like fast, fast, fast go movement. And I think Vivid thrived with Shotzzy, obviously the best we've ever seen him play. So I think he could thrive with Abezy going in front of him and kind of being like um, that roaming slayer with apparently the most accurate player in the league. They always tell us in the broadcast.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. All right. All right, so the movement team. Oh, the movement team. All right.
What AR are you gonna take for some movement?
I don't know. Let's oh man, Shotzzy Neptune. Um Give me Skies.
God, he went so late, and he's such a good player. But I mean, that's the thing. That's what we were saying in the beginning of this video. Like, don't hate in the comments because there's gonna be some freaking great players that go late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if Skies is like the IGL necessarily, but we can maybe I'm putting too much stock into being an IGL, but like I feel like
Yeah,
this
it
team's
matters.
already this team's already pretty nasty.
Yeah,
And I mean Skies has had like two really good statistical years back to back now and since the CDL formed, so um
yeah,
I mean if nothing else we're gonna be getting really good slaying numbers from our main, so
yeah. I agree. All right, you talked about it. EU connection. I'm going EU connection here. I'm glad he got all the way back to me. I'm taking Mr. Afro here.
oh very
I
nice.
I think that's a like a higher upside pick. But to me, watching that kid Afro play, I'm a person that's all in on him. So if he flops and ends up not really being a great CDL player, I will take the L on that one because I'm all in on this kid being one of the top subs in maybe the next few years here, as long as he gets a good team. And I think he can kind of be like a Kleenex for this team. And be like that slaying sub because obviously we need two subs in this team still, and I think this team is shaping up to kind of be like a Toronto without the IGL obviously bans, which hurts that we don't have him.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. All right, Standy Clayster. Give
Yeah,
me Priesta.
yeah. I was about to say something, but I didn't want to give it away to you. I saw his name sitting down there. I'm like, oh my god, Priesta should not be going this late. And then I saw my Octane Hook team was the next non team that I had that needed a flex, so I was going to take him there because my
No,
next two teams had Cammy and Cellium.
I want Priesta, man.
He's unbelievable. He probably shouldn't have gone this late, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's shaping up to be a really good team too. Wow. So this Cellium attached team, we're looking for an AR and a sub. Got a kind of a search and destroy theme going again. I always get myself locked into that search and destroy theme because I love it. Okay, my team with Abezy, Big Wake, and Vivid. That's the best search team in the league. So never mind, it's over. What am I looking for here though? Attach, I feel like can be our IGL if we need it, but I feel like we're looking for an entry guy here. Uh, Maybe one with good comms because we're maybe lacking a little bit from Cellium and good comms. When I see the subs on the list, I think of Asim.
Ah, damn it.
So I'm gonna go with Asim. I think he can be a really, really good entry guy. Allow a guy like Attached to be that roaming slayer IGL, and I mean we got Cellium still, so I like Asim here.
All right, very good, very good. All right. Dashy, Major Maniac. I'm gonna go back to the OG vibes. I'm gonna take TJ Halley.
Dashy and Tej, the duo.
Yeah, I mean they wanted to stay together after BO4.
Put Tej in. I mean, yeah, I don't mind the pick at all. I mean, chemistry is 100% a factor, and they've obviously got it. Those two. Um, so I'm kind of looking here. I obviously need a flex and a sub, and there's one guy sticking out to me, but I want to make sure there's nothing else out there to go with it. Um, and I think on this team. I don't think Hook's much of a like in-game voice that helps a lot. I think Octane can be, but he's maybe not the best at it in terms of ARs. But I see a guy with raw talent that I think can be a leader, and that is Mr. Gunless.
I was wondering when Pierce is going to
think
go off the board.
I think that Pierce is way too talented to be going this late. It's obviously always the question of who he gets along with, and we've seen for a whole year. I mean, if he was ever going to not get along with a teammate, it was with how much struggles they had this year. I feel like who can kind of get along with anyone. He's kind of just chill, as long as off the game stuff isn't happening. But him and Gunless and Octane played very well together this year in terms of chemistry. It seemed like they didn't get upset. And I mean, in terms of raw talent, this team is absurd. So I'm gonna go Gunless.
All right, this team's already like a mixed EU NA team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like all bets are out off the window. We're kind of just like, this is the team that's just kind of like taking flyers and like might end up winning the league. Who knows? um. Oh man, I'm gonna go. Oh, I feel like we need to give Hydra at least like one more like EU connection potentially. Um. Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go ahead and give him Nasty.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And we finally get like one of the like real challengers players out there that we were talking about. That's a good pick. I mean, we obviously don't know a ton about him, but we've heard that he's nasty. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully our EU listeners can like hype him up, and if he winds up on that like Ravens team,
Yeah.
we'll be full bore.
And most times we hear talks about a person this much, they always end up being very good when they're talked about as much as he has been over the course of this year. So we go to the Envoy and Arcitys team, kind of a vibey team, Huntsman throwback. Obviously we're looking for a flex. This would have been a good spot for Gunless too. Actually, no, never mind. Him and Envoy don't get along. Scratch that. But we're looking for a sub to go with Envoy. And Envoy's a weird sub. Now that we're getting down to the bottom of the list, I feel like we need somebody that can run routes with him. Oh my gosh, this team is weird. I don't know how much I like this team anymore. I think I might have taken Envoy too early looking at the names that went after him. I think I want to go with a flex here. It's just a matter of I'm kind of choosing between a couple people. I think we might go for the young talent because I think this team is at the point where we need some just raw talent. So I'm gonna go Sib, my first real like challengers player. From what we hear, once again, this guy has absurd talent, can be a main or a flex. It's just a matter of attitude issues. I think Envoy's pretty vibey, and I think Arcitys seems to get the best out of his players and gets along with everyone. So I feel like if there's a landing spot for him, it could be here. And also, he was Faze's substitute, so I think he has a decent relationship with Arcitys.
All right, yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, kind of gotta. This is the part. This is the spot where like we're filling in holes more or less.
And you're
It's like,
almost taking chances on guys that could be first and second round caliber, but slip because of question marks.
right, right. All right, clean expanse. I'm gonna. This is where you might get flamed, but I kind of want this guy back in the league. Let's give Wuskin a shot here with the main.
I was wondering if one of us was going to take him. All right. I mean, the last time we saw him in MW, he was one of the top ARs, so you can't really knock it too much. And then he just doesn't get a spot this year, but yeah, I don't mind the pick. All right. Going to my team, I mean, I have a bunch of search and destroy teams. You might as well call this one team content unintentionally, but that's kind of how it worked out. Obviously, we're in search of a sub and an AR. Could technically take a flex because Kenny could play our sub. Man, it's almost like it's too written up here for me to take formal to make T2P come together again, or to take Crim for the memes to put Crim and Scump back together. I'm just trying to look if there's any like sub I feel like I could pair with this, or do I want to let a sub fall all the way to me at the end and just pray it's somebody good? Oh man, this is tough. I think I would like to go. Man, I think I might do it. Also, if we do a fan vote, I automatically win. I think I'm gonna take formal here.
All right.
I don't know that necessarily it's the best pick, but I still think this might have just been a little bit of a down year for Formal. And like we say down year, but I think like on the year he almost had like a 1.05 plus KD. Like he was still good. He just had some bad moments. And obviously the chemistry with Scump and Formal is there, and you can mix Kenny in. So like this is a team that if you get them on their good year, they could beat anybody just off raw talent. Oh, I get my double pick here too. I almost forgot.
Yeah, you get the snake here, boy.
I get the snake. Oh my god, and I have to close out this team. And so now I really have to actually look at the subs and who I want. There's a couple guys that are sticking out to me. I feel like we need more of a guy who's willing to kind of fly with Scump. Being that Scump is more of that roaming Slayer type. A couple guys sticking out to me like Fellow, Royalty. John and Scump basically play the exact same way, more roaming, so I can't really pair them, even though I'd love to. A guy that's sticking out to me and has a little bit of a connection with Scump is, well, not with Scump, with Kenny, is Venom. I think he can be a good entry too. And I think he showed us a lot. So I'm going to go with Venom here, relying on the fact that he can develop a little bit more in year 2, be a good entry. I think from what I heard from Thieves too, like he has really, really good comms. And this team probably needs some comms, so we don't have a clear IGL. We have a bunch of players who are vocal, but I don't know. To me, this team's either like first or like the no in between. Like they're going to be up and down. They might be a lot like the Optic team from this year, a lot of 4th through 6s.
All right. Keeping with the EU.
Oh boy, who are you going to find here?
I'm gonna take a flyer on Harry.
Okay.
We're gonna run three strict SMGs, I guess. But I think Bance, if anyone can kind
I
of
think Harry can
maybe.
too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out.
I don't mind it. You got to take some flyers.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep the EU.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like this pick is just dangling out there for me to have to take it, Pristini. I mean, we've got Arcitys. If there's one guy, Pristini and Arcitys, clearly they've won a lot of events together. We've got the young talent Sib. Only worry about this team is the Sib and Pristini, both kind of passionate people. That could get interesting. But if there's one person that can really control Pristini and like not let that come out, that's Arcitys, obviously the closest person to him in his life. And once again, you've got 3 Huntsman players that had success one event together, all together here. And I think there's one guy that can go rogue with Envoy and make his like long routes not seem as bad. Pristini will do it with you. So I actually think this team has some potential.
Right. This amalgamation of players here. Hydra, Illy, Nasty.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is another first or last kind of team.
Yeah, this is where I'm gonna put Crim 6.
Oh, I was waiting. I wanted to see if I could get Crim later on with one team because I mean, let's be honest, Crim's not a 4th round caliber player. It's just how it worked.
I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and monologue for 5 minutes about like my thought process on this team, but we'll keep it going.
Crim's got all the young guys once again. All right, this was a team that I was looking at a lot of players. I was thinking Pristini here, but Surge weren't that good. Do I really want to pair 3 guys in Surge? To me, I'm kind of looking at Octane a lot here and looking at who pairs well with him. I obviously need a sub. There's guys on the list. There's a guy like Slacked, who has won multiple events with Octane. Guy like Classic has as well. John has as well. To me, man, John is sitting out there and he's so talented. And I know he had that one bad series, and I was about to take Nicky D, my boy here. I don't know if Nicky D will get taken anywhere else if I don't take him here. And I think he does more dirty work than John. I'm actually going to throw Nicky D here. I was about to say John, but I'm going to throw Nicky D here. I think we saw in that Faze series when Seattle beat him how much dirty work he can actually do. We also saw that Surge team on LAN and how good they were. And I mean, we're acting like this whole draft is on LAN like it should be in the series. And I mean, I think you basically take that Surge team and replace Pristini with an ultra talented player in Hook, and I think this team's got some potential to make noise. I mean, the skill ceiling is insane with the top 3 picks, and then Classic will do your dirty work.
Yeah. Oh man, this is tough. I have like 2 like ARs technically with Dashy Major, and then we got Tej. Who we want to put with Tej on the SMGs here?
Hmm.
I'm, I'm gonna go. This is where you start taking chances. I'm gonna go with Dave Patey.
Yep. I was wondering, it's like at some point, do you take the chances on the challengers players? Do you go with the established vets?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
put him in
weird.
the league. Let's see what he can do.
That was a spot where I thought you might go John, but I know you're not a big John fan because he's like Tej is like the perfect sub duo for John with how fast he is. He sets up his sub duo like Tej's sub duos in every game always put up big numbers. It seems like because he sets them up so well.
Hmm.
But that could work for a guy like Dav Petty if he's super talented and is able to go off because Tej opens up the map. All right, team crack, team search and destroy. This team is literally never losing a map 5. So Attach and Cellium and Asim, all Mr. Map 5s. They're never losing one. We need a main AR, though, to go with this team. I was going to throw Krim on here, and now you took Krim from me. There's one main AR that I think is really good and is a really good IGL, and he's being extremely underrated. And I have one team left that he could go to, but he definitely can't fit on there. I'm looking at like Aqua and accuracy, and even methods right now. But I'm going with Zero. I've always been a really big Zero fan. Before Bance's run this year, I think he was the best European player. I think Bance officially took that from him. But I think Zero is a really good main AR, and brings a lot of leadership. And he's played with Cellium before back in BO4, so there's that. And he also played with Asim in BO4, so there's a little bit of a connection here. And Attach can play with anyone, we know that. But I think that might be my favorite team I've drafted.
All right, Standy Clay, Priesta. Go John.
All right, I didn't think you were gonna take him. I thought I was gonna be left to take him.
I mean, I like John. I just think he had kind of a rough go of it this year. First year back in almost like 1.5, 2 years. So, uh, um,
Yeah,
and we're kind of on this like experience thing with Clayster on the team. So we'll give him like a vet.
yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I'm obviously a big John fan. I think that could work out pretty well. Um, Man, looking at this team here, I've got 3 EU players, so it almost feels like I have to go with a European. But when I look at the subs that are left, I mean, you've got Alex, Zed, and Dylan. I'm not too high on any of those guys. You've got Scraps, who's pretty good. I could see him. Um, you've got Jerd, who's an all-time great, but I mean, we haven't seen him in the league in a while. You've even got Brezzy, a French guy, Vortex as well. Oh man, um, I don't see any like insane NA subs either on that list. The guys that are sticking out to me are Scraps, Vortex, Jerd. I think I'm actually gonna go for a flyer here. Let's go. I mean, I guess it's technically not EU, but it's out of NA. I'm gonna go with Pred, uh, the Australian and EU connection here. From what I've heard, everything it seems like Pred's gonna find his way into the league. It sounds like he had like that locked up in the middle of the years because this dude's crazy talented. Um, so I think we just pair him with Afro here, and we just go with the 2 young, insane subs with the best playmaker in the league, Cammy and Insight.
Oh man, I like these EU teams. I mean, they're we're probably gonna get yelled at about like how these guys would never play together, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
All right, all right. So we got Shotzi Neptune on the SMGs. We got Skies on the main. Oh man, we
good
need
flexes out there.
yeah, we need a flex. I think Mac has picked up a lot in the last 2 years. Especially playing under Clayster for an entire year. I'm gonna
Hmm.
give Mac another shot here.
I thought that was definitely the pick there, so I'm glad he took him because if Mac did find his way in the league, that's tough. But yeah, I mean that team you just drafted is raw skill. Only question with them obviously is in-game organization. A lot of younger players that we don't know who the IGL is, but that team is not gonna ever get outshot. All right. So I'm taking the final main AR here, I suppose. Because you have Slasher on your last pick here. Oh man. What do I do here though? There's a couple guys. I really think Aqua is nasty. But I don't know if he brings enough in the leadership department. You even got a guy like Accuracy who brings a lot. And I don't know if I want to let Methods go undrafted. You even got a guy like Gravity who's super talented. I mean, there's a lot of guys that we left out here. Like I feel like Gravity should be in the league, but it's just tough because I don't think he fits on this team. Oh man. Do I go Methods and trust his leadership? I don't think I do. I think I go Accuracy here. I
Oh, you're
think
going for like
Accuracy.
you're going for like a system here.
Yeah, I think Accuracy because I feel like Abezy has always had a guy. I mean, you look at Abezy's E United BO4, he had Arcitys, like the system established leader. Then you go into the Modern Warfare season, they could not finish a final. They were like 3-7 in finals or whatever, couldn't win because they didn't have an established leader. Then this year he gets Arcitys back, and boom. Big Wakes never really had that established leader with Skies. The same thing with Vivid. Couldn't win on LAG. He gets Crim as an established leader. Boom. So I feel like it's a lot of players that kind of need that guidance, and Accuracy is willing to provide that. And also, he's a pretty damn good main AR overall.
All right, I got a good one here. It's a guy we both said we want to see more in the league. Let's give Paul X
Yeah.
the flex spot here. Young
Yeah.
guy, uh, slasher. I mean, this team you can't really go wrong. I feel like we got three kind of guys that are like. I mean, obviously Draza is probably the youngest guy here. Draza and Paul X are the youngest guys here.
Yeah.
But playing under slasher and then Simp doesn't need to be told what to do. I mean, the guy can play with like you know both eyes closed. It feels like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that pick.
Yeah. Well, draft completed, but honestly, the first thing I noticed when going through this is how much we need expansion because look how many good players are left out. I mean, you've got guys like Fellow and Royalty and Apathy, Pentagram, Prolute and Saints, even Temp, Diamond Con, even like Aqua, Shawnee, Methods, Gravity, Mohawk. There's a lot of players that should be in the league that aren't in here because we don't
Well,
have
then
room.
like we were going through like all these like challengers rosters and like all these Spanish players that like should be like somewhere in a pro team, like Journey and
Yeah,
Metals and
Lucky.
all like yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean we could probably we could probably double the size of the league and then finally get all these guys in, but
In the Spanish guys are just like so screwed comparison to even EU guys like that, like from the UK. That's first language is English. It's so much harder for the Spanish guys because I know from what I've heard, I think like Metals speaks pretty good English, and I'm not sure about Journey and Lucky, but like those players are so unknown to so many NA and like UK players that it's so much tougher. They don't have the connections, which as much as people want to say friendship league, the connections obviously matter. Like you have to know the people you're teaming with. So it's super unfortunate. Like a Spanish team, they almost need to get their own spot in the league of like the Heretics team and then make some connections from there before they like start team with others. It kind of sucks for them because it makes it so much harder for them to get in the league.
yeah, I mean I the case has been made, many times about like what needs to happen or what would really drive up interest for the league and getting more regions and stuff involved. It would definitely be a big boost. So
100%. I want to see a Australia team. I want to see a team in Spain. Screw it, we can get a team in Asia because I heard there's a lot of interest in like Japan and stuff. Let's do it all. I think South Africa has a pretty big COD scene. Let's get it all over the world. Make it a world tour. Looking at these rosters though, of the ones you drafted, what are like your two favorites, your top two teams? You think?
I really I really like the Cami inside Afro Pred.
That's my favorite
Um,
team of the ones I
from,
drafted. I think.
from yours, I I don't know. I mean, I think filling in these guys it's all just conjecture with what we thought could be good teams.
Yeah.
I really like the um the Octane Hoop Gunless Classic. I mean, I feel like Classic, if anything, is more of an outlier.
Yeah.
There is you kind of get. I mean, really, 3 of the 4 of those guys were already on a team this year.
Yeah.
Um,
And Hook and Classic have had a lot of success teaming together in the
yeah,
past as well, like Advanced Warfare and stuff.
right. I mean, so you're with that one, you're really counting on Hook to be like a difference maker.
Oh yeah.
To come back in with a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting teams out here
The funny thing
for
for my
sure.
teams actually is I think my first team, the BZ Big Wake team, I have a lot of confidence in that team. My Cammy Insight team, I have a ton of confidence. Cellium attached, ton of confidence. And then the Octane Hook one, I think can be really good, but to me, that's a first or last type of team. So I'm not as confident. Same with Envoy, Arcitys, Pristini. I feel like with Arcitys and Envoy, Pristini, like that one all comes down to Sid. That's more of a question mark. And then my last team, question mark as well. I feel like my top 3 are super strong. My last 3 are kind of questionable. For yours, I almost feel like almost it's the same way. Like your first 3, I mean, those teams are going to be good. And then you kind of get like the Dashy Major Maniac. I don't know how it's going to work. I see Dave Patty. That Hydra LA team is just a weird mix of people, but they got Crim. And then same thing, like your Kleenex and Bance, like great together, but Wuskin and Harry. I feel like we both did way better in our top 3s, like the first 6 picks.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as Crimsix comes walking out with like the thick 6 walk with the cowboy hat on, I think all will be right in the world. So
It always is. All right. You got anything else to say before we kind of wrap this one up? Obviously, we didn't want to do like a full podcast, just kind of a fun idea for some other content besides a podcast here in the off season.
no, I feel maybe one question I would ask you is maybe just like a parting question, like which one of these teams, if any, do you think has an actual potential to be a real roster?
Oh man, I haven't even thought of that. Well, let's see. If I go the first one, no, because Simp obviously that's not happening. Second one, no, Abezy's not leaving anywhere. Third one, I would say
I could see it.
the third one I would say possibly because I think we'll get into this in a different episode, but I think Shotzi might leave. I don't think he necessarily winds up on Florida. I feel like he goes to like a 100T and Optic, like a New York, like a bigger team. But Neptune Skies obviously play together now. They could add Shotzi like that. That's potential, but I don't think Mac would be there. This team at some point down the road, my Cammy team maybe could happen, but not immediately. The Standy, I mean, I said Clay could go to Minnesota, so those 3, Standy, Clay, and Priesta could be, but you'd probably have to put Attach instead of John.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if John would find his way there.
Cellium, no way he's leaving. Dashy, no.
I don't feel like that team is.
Octane, Hook, Gunless, if Seattle was a good org, maybe, but no, that team's not happening. That Hydra Elite team, if that happens, I'll pay you my life savings. The Envoy, Arcitys, Pristini, like those 3, I feel like could team again at some point, but not immediately.
I don't know if they would find Sib on their
I don't
team
know
either.
yeah, none of these teams are happening. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There's combinations of players that aren't
like,
currently together that I could see.
Yeah, it's like at most 3 could probably find their way eventually, but like it's that 4th player that we kind of just like plugged in that's a little bit of an outlier. So
Yeah, like there's a lot of worlds where I see 2, 3 players that aren't currently together, like coming together. But yeah, because like it's never gonna happen like this where you have like the 4th round caliber players like as the picks, because like a lot of times people are making super teams, so you're gonna have like a 3 or 4 first round picks in this all team together. I mean, look, Simp and Abezy and Cellium all went top 6 and they're on one team. So like,
definitely.
it's weird, but yeah, it's a good parting question. I wish some of these would happen because I wish there was a way we could put all these teams together, almost like on like a 2K or a Madden, like simulate games and see what happens. But we don't have the pull to get a bunch of 8s lobbies together and get this stuff going. But you got anything else to say before I wrap this thing up?
No, I think I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good mental exercise, to be honest.
Yeah. Also a mental or eye strain exercise to make sure you're not missing players that you should take. But I think that's gonna do it for this one. Let us know down in the comments what team you think is taking first place. Give us a little mini power rankings or something of your top few teams. What teams are horrible? I mean, I think if we did a fan vote, my 12th team would win because it's got Scump, Formal, and Kenny. Just from that fact, but let us know what teams you think are nasty down in the comments. Who's going to be the best team out of these? And let us know any other ideas you have for types of content like this, because obviously in the off season there might be some slow weeks where there just flat out isn't enough stuff to talk about for a podcast. So if you guys have any ideas on some stuff you'd maybe like to see kind of in this form, let us know. But that's going to do it for this one. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.